Another tough finale in the middleweights right here. Bryan Battle, the last pick on Team Volkanovski, if I remember correctly. If not the last, one of the last. You know, he wasn't very star-studded going into the TUF show, right? And he's fighting Gilbert Urbina. And like I said, this should be Tresean Gore right here. Everybody, just about everybody thought Tresean Gore was probably going to win it all. But instead you get La Raza, Gilbert Urbina. He comes out with the hoodie on under his TUF jersey with the sarape on it. Man, I love it. You know, just straight up, he puts on, man. He puts on for his people, you know, for mi gente, he puts on. But I will have to say, Bryan Battle is going to stand in his way for putting on for his people. Now, Bryan Battle is interesting, AJ, because of how long and lanky the man is, dude. He is 26 years old, 6'2", middleweight. What did we just talk about from Akhman Murdoch, man? I was like, when do you see a man this big, this lanky, just doing his thing? Like, especially because Bryan Battle, you know, forgive me, but this is true. He's not the most in shape type individual when he's in the fight. You know what I mean? He's got a little bit of, you know, some extra, you know what I'm saying, stuff going on in the stomach region. You know what I'm saying, folks. Come on, the man could probably be a little more chiseled out, but nonetheless, he's winning fights, so it really does not matter because the man is a savage. I love the long hair going down. It gives me those Benson Henderson vibes. You know what I'm saying? But this is a dude with a 77-inch reach as well, man. So he's long, he's lanky, he's tall. He could kick you in your face, punch you, whatever the case may be. It does not matter. And Gilbert Urbina is much more of the I want to put the backpack on you. You know what I'm saying? I want to grab you, put you to the ground, grapple you up, submit you, all the good stuff. I will say, though, for Bryan Battle, man, this is one of those beautiful stories where I would love to see him win it all just because of the story in and of itself, man. Like, this is a dude who seems to be game, and it seems like he could give some real cats problems in the UFC with his frame. Now, let me ask you this, AJ, once again. Well, I guess not once again, but I've been talking about the amateur records of a lot of these fighters, right? And I want to know how much that means to you, because before in old school MMA, your first couple fights, those were on your record. Those were actual fights in the UFC. Now you get to have an amateur record, and Bryan Battle had a very extensive amateur record. He had 10 total amateur fights. He went 8-2 in his amateur record, and with him being 5-1 in the UFC, that means that he has 16 total fights. So he has a lot more fights than people give him credit for. However, only 6 of them truly counted. Excuse me. Now, in those amateur bouts, 8-2, it's impressive, but how much does that mean to you?
I mean, it really depends, because the worst thing now, or I guess the best thing now, is there's so many amateur regional scenes out there. You could be fighting some cans. Like, that's the, you know, it's not like it used to be back in the day where everybody is an absolute killer and not many people want to step in the ring. Now there's a lot of people that are down. So I do think the experience of the amateur fights matters, and I think it's very important to get in there and do your thing and make sure, you know, you got the cojones to keep stand against some dude and start swinging. But I don't know. I guess it would all come down to who those amateur fights were, at what level, and how the fights went. Because it does play into the fact, you know, it does play into the fight going forward, how well he did in all his other fights. But like I said, you could be fighting some cans for sure. So maybe not the highest emphasis on his, you know, amateur fights. But he still got him done. You still got to give credit to the fact that this man is willing to step in the ring and start fighting. So it does play a little bit of importance for me. What about for you, Derek?
To me, it actually means a lot, believe it or not, just because it's the equivalent of going in there, experiencing what it feels like to be on the big stage. Even though it's the amateurs, it's still a big stage. You're in the middle of a locked cage, bro. Like, you get that experience in there and being able to say, like, okay, man, if I lose, like, I don't think it's as much pressure in the amateurs personally, you know what I mean? Because if you lose, it doesn't really count. It counts on your amateur record, but it doesn't really count. And it's a learning lesson, you know what I'm saying? So you go in there, you get the cage time, and that's what's important. They always say I don't remember who it was, man, but it was one of the fighters recently on a pay-per-view. This was within the last year, where they were just saying, like, I just want to spend as much time in the cage because I want it to feel like home. Like, I want to, like, sleep in the cage. I want it to feel like it's not a foreign place when I'm in there. This is at home. I'm comfortable and all that, man. So I think Bryan Battle is definitely benefiting from all of that experience just in the cage. However, none of that really matters, man, because the dude he's fighting in Gilbert Urbina, he has experience in both the LFA and Combate Global. Now, this was back when it was Combate Americas, but nonetheless, man, he's fought in multiple different promotions that are on a higher level, which is very important. Now, he lost to a very solid prospect in Sean Brady, the man we were just talking about, right? And I think that really counts, because that one fight right there is a higher strength of schedule than probably all the fights Bryan Battle has had, except one, AJ. Now, there's one fighter Bryan Battle has a victory over that I find to be super, super impressive. And his name is Impa Kasanganay. Did you know that?
Ah, I didn't, man. I thought I saw it before, but I couldn't remember. It's not in his last five at least, so I did not know.
Yeah, yeah. Big win, man. And obviously, this is earlier in both of their careers. They're both prospects, clearly. But come on, man. That is huge, huge, huge in terms of just your confidence right there. So it's clear why the man is so confident, why he's in there getting it. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, man, 4-fight win streak for Bryan Battle, 1-fight win streak for Gilbert Urbina. But I need to ask you, being that Urbina got knocked out by Tresean Gore in the fight that would have led to the finale for Urbina rightfully earning his spot in the TUF middleweight finale, my question to you is, do you think that, once again, this is another one of those situations, he learned from the, okay, I just got knocked out, man, and thankfully, praise of the sun, all that good stuff, I'm in the finale, I have to make it count. He had, I think, 2 brothers that were also in TUF who didn't make it all the way through. This is his time to really make it count. Do you think that happens, or do you think he falls to the mental woes of, I got knocked out, I don't belong to be here, and that's the mentality that he takes going into this fight? What do you think?
No, I think he learns from it on this one, especially because Tresean Gore and Bryan Battle are not the same type of strikers. Tresean Gore, my favorite quote from him is he was being interviewed by, I think it was Team Ortega, and they were like, "What's your favorite kind of style?" He was, "Bro, I'm here to knock people out," and that's what he was doing. He's just dropping people left and right. And Tresean Gore carries those power in the hands, man. He has these beautiful shoulder rolls where he's coming and he's throwing heat for your head. Whereas Bryan Battle, he's got the knees. He's got the kicks. He's going to hurt your body before he hurts your head. And that's why I really, really like Bryan Battle in this fight going forward. He has the length. He's very, very tall. He strikes with purpose. And he's very, you don't expect big guys to be that good at kickers like that, man. But he'll get you up in the clinch and start rocking some knees. And I'm pretty sure that was at least the start of the downfall for Petrovsky whenever he fought Battle, is he was just getting cracked with some knees. And every single fight that Bryan Battle has had in The Ultimate Fighter, he was cracking these dudes with his knees. So I definitely think Urbina going forward, and I love my favorite quote from Urbina. He gets done with his, it was a fight before he fought Tresean Gore. Excuse me, I don't know all the other fighters' names. Like I said, I was watching just the fights for the episodes. But Gilbert Urbina gets the win. He's like, this one's for the pinche hermanos Urbina. These are my homies. This is for the raza. Like, he's about it, and he has the drive and that passion to fight, man. It takes a lot to be able to stand in there and bang with some dudes, especially a dude who he's going to be kicking you in the stomach the whole time. So I'm excited for this Urbina fight, man. I definitely think he learned a lot from it, because when you got that pride and you got, the family behind you and you got people you're actually fighting for, it makes a big difference instead of just, I'm here for a contract, I'm here for a payday. You actually got the family back home you're actually scrapping for. It makes a big difference, man. What do you think?
Well, you said it best. You kind of say this one all the time, but if you're a fighter, you need to know what your why is, right? And I think Urbina completely knows what his why is, and I think he gets one of those rare second chances to actually make. It's like, when do they say you get a second first impression, right? I think that's what Gilbert Urbina is going to do in this matchup. However, Bryan Battle, you said it, man. He got the knees, he got the kicks, he's got the length, and he's got the volume, man. He throws, and he doesn't get tired. It doesn't seem like it, at least. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting. I think Urbina has the grappling edge. Battle has the clear striking edge. However, Battle has more career submission victories than Urbina does on his record, even though they've only, got combined like 12 pro fights. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, going to be a really, really good fight. Obviously, the people know Tresean Gore is probably the winner. If he fought either one of these guys, he probably would beat them, in my opinion, because that dude is ready for the UFC. However, that's not what we're talking about. Give me your pick and why, AJ.
Yeah, I agree with that last sentiment, Derek. But personally, I think this one's going to be a fun fight regardless. Urbina's no slouch, and he's there, man. He's down to scrap. But I'm personally going Bryan Battle, KO, round 2. I think he's going to put those knees to work, and I don't think he's going to be taken down, man. If Petrovsky wasn't able to take Bryan Battle down and hold him down, I don't think Urbina's going to do it either. So I'm going Bryan Battle, KO, round 2. Who you got, Derek, and why?
So I wanted to go Battle on this one, man. But like I said, I just think that for Urbina, the La Raza, you know what I'm saying? That fighting for that purpose and that spirit, I think that's going to kind of fire the man up a little bit. And I think that he's going to be able to take Battle down, but not in a conventional way. Not in a very clear, like Petrovsky, he's just like, I'm just going to shoot the double and take you down. Like, you know what I mean? Urbina's a little more sneaky, where he'll mix it up with the strikes and then just try to take your back and then, jump on you or something like that, or jump the guillotine or whatever, whatever it is. I think it's going to be a little more sneaky. I think he's going going to have to get past that 3-inch reach disadvantage. And also he's 5'9", where Bryan Battle is 6'2". So that height disadvantage, having a lower center of gravity for Gilbert Urbina might work out better for him if he's trying to advance the grappling. But it should be a fun one either way. I'm taking a risk with this one, and I'm going for Gilbert Urbina, but I'm going unanimous decision victory right here. I think it's going to be really tough to finish Bryan Battle. And I love the name, dude, Battle. It would have been perfect for Tresean Gore because it would have been Battle versus Gore. Like, come on, there's no better naming than that. But nonetheless, man. All right, that's